Severed Heads is meant for a mature audience only. This program contains violent, sexual, and disturbing scenarios. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to Severed Heads, written and created by William Goodman. This story is called Evergreen. Chapter 2 is titled Eve. I remember her eyes like it was yesterday. I remember her eyes like it was yesterday. I remember her eyes
Fuck
like
you.
it was yesterday.
You lie and judge and turn the kids against me.
Seriously, what the fuck are you talking about, you overdramatic bitch?
Please.
Seriously,
Keep
what
your
the
voice
fuck are
down.
you talking
You're going
about,
to
you
wake the
overdramatic
kids.
bitch?
Pop a fucking pill and go to sleep.
You
think I give a goddamn about the kids?
Pop a fucking pill
I
and
remember
go
the
to
morning
sleep.
of like it was yesterday. I remember screaming matches at 1 in the morning. Like clockwork, I would wake up to a slew of fuck yous and you worthless, abusive asshole. My brother Trevor and I would anticipate every seething sentence, separated by love and hate and our parents' death by 1,000 lashes. Lacerations, metaphorically of course. My parents' marriage were held together by lattices, curated with paper, twine, and a religious outlook. Divorce was out of the question. The Bible condemns those that split, and my dad was strictly conservative. My mother, on the other hand, didn't give a shit. She would attend church once a week, but didn't dabble in politics. She had a larger-than-life personality. Though addicted to Percocet, she was clearly depressed and fed up with her relationship. She would swallow her pills, then swallow her pride, turn a blind eye as my dad would read scripture, Ephesians 5:33, with a blind sense of pride. See, my father was different. He valued family and values and believed Jesus was all-empowering. So when he realized their relationship was crumbling, he felt ashamed and blamed my mother for her lack of faith. To him, she was a total disgrace. Between two fading lovers, it felt like death, hiding under bated breath.
What would God think? What would my mother say?
He would shout from his agenda-stricken pedestal, looking down at the peasants, pretending sympathy is a part of his predetermined prejudice. You can hear the hypocrisy. Voices break, crackle like the static as the evening fades. Screaming matches simmer as the morning sings, as you two choose to forget the shooting spree. For on this perfect morning, it's Christmas Eve. I remember the tree like it was yesterday. I remember the attic. It was one of those with drop-down stairs, holiday decorations, spider webs, old rusty nails. You know, underutilized and hardly noticed, except when you need an inflatable Santa or an ornament or two. My mother loved Christmas and decorating her evergreen tree. The day after Thanksgiving, she would organize her ornaments and prepare for assembly.
The tree must be up and glistening no later than December 1st.
She would always say. It was a pastime tradition she used to do with her mother and still carries on to this day. She was recently recovering from an ankle sprain, so I volunteered to fetch her large storage container full of ornaments in the attic. I slowly walked up the rickety staircase and noticed it was pitch black up there. I was stumbling and fumbling, looking for a light switch. I wasn't exactly sure where. Eventually, I spotted a box that said ornament, so I assumed I was in the clear. I peeked inside and sure enough, there was a beautiful glass angel with an aura that screamed cursed as spirits poisoned the air. I grabbed it, turned around, and splat! Broken glass fell everywhere. My mom shouted,
Is everything all right up there?
I panicked and yelled, "The brown box?"
No, the large red storage container right when you walk in.
Eureka! I yelled as I made my way down the staircase.
I thought I heard broken glass.
I quickly changed the subject and said, I can't wait for this evening when we decorate the tree. And when the time came, there were games and laughter, and it was truly spectacular to see.
Fans, it's time now to meet the starters for this evening's game.
I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember that Christmas Eve. I remember the blood-soaked wood and the ambulance sirens. I remember the noon kickoff, Bears versus the Lions. I remember watching with my dad glued to the TV. He was drinking MGD. My mom was cleaning the house, making dinner and preparing for company. My Grandma Mary, Uncle Marvin, Auntie Debbie, and a few others from his side of the family. Honey bourbon glazed ham, mashed potatoes and macaroni and cheese. Bears leading at halftime 7-17. My mom walks into the living room, completely strung out of her mind, talking about how she can't find the ornament Grandma. Mary got her and she'll notice it's gone in due time. See, she hates her in-laws more than the Bears hate the Packers, and you can see the desperation in her eyes. She shouts,
Please, I got the ham in the oven. Can one of you two guys grab the ornament from the attic? She'll be arriving here shortly.
My dad half-drunkenly slurs,
Jeremy, you do it.
but I ignored him, of course. 5 minutes later, my mom storms back in.
Well, where the fuck is it? Fuck it, forget it. I'll do every fucking chore.
Thankfully, I didn't miss it because the Bears just scored. It's turning into a bloodbath bloodbath of sorts. My dad again slurs.
It's a commercial. Now check on your mother. You know she hates it up there.
I walked towards the old rickety staircase and shouted, "Mom, is everything all right up there?" No response, so I shouted a little more nervously, "Did you find Grandma's ornament?" Again, no response, and now I'm petrified. I began to walk up the stairs, each step more frightening than the last. I reached the end, and I'll never forget the screech that came pouring out of my mouth. I remember it like it was yesterday. My mom was laying next to the brown box and a few broken ornament pieces, face down, in obvious pain. I turned her over. Blood started spraying everywhere. I put my hands on her neck to try and clog the gashes, but I was a few minutes too late, and her gasping turned silent. There were pools of blood, and my hands were covered, but most memorably, I remember her eyes like it was yesterday. I remember her eyes like it was yesterday. Thank you for listening to Severed Heads. Chapter 3 is titled Zombie.